Hello and welcome back. So this is topic 1, cell biology for GCSE. Today we're going to be going over chromosomes and mitosis. So chromosomes and mitosis. Most of the cells in your body have a nucleus, and the nucleus contains your genetic material in the form of chromosomes. Chromosomes are coiled up lengths of DNA molecules. Each chromosome carries a large number of genes. Different genes control the development of different characteristics, for example, hair color, eye color, and how tall you are. Body cells normally have 2 copies of each chromosome, one from the mother and one from the father. So humans have 2 copies of chromosome 1 and 2 copies of chromosome 2, etc. So as we can see, we have 2 copies of chromosome 1, 2 copies of chromosome 2. Now we have 23 pairs of chromosomes in a human cell, and we have an X and a Y chromosome, depending on if you're male or female. The cell cycle makes new cells for growth, development, and repair. Body cells in multicellular organisms divide to produce new cells as part of a series of stages called the cell cycle. The stage of the cell cycle where the cell divides is called mitosis. Multicellular organisms use mitosis to grow or replace cells that have been damaged. The end of the cell cycle results in 2 cells identical to the original cell with the same number of chromosomes. 2 main stages of the cell cycle are growth, DNA replication, and mitosis. In DNA replication. In a cell that's not dividing, the DNA is separated out in long strings. Before it divides, the cell has to grow and increase the amount of subcellular structures, such as mitochondria and ribosomes. It then duplicates its DNA, so there's 1 copy for each new cell. The DNA is copied and forms X-shaped chromosomes. Each arm of the chromosome is an exact duplicate of the other. Mitosis. Once its contents and DNA have been copied, the cell is ready for mitosis. The chromosomes line up at the center of the cell and the fibers pull them apart. The 2 arms of each chromosome go to opposite ends of the cell. Membranes form around each set of chromosomes. These become the nuclei of the 2 new cells. The nucleus has divided. Lastly, the cytoplasm and the cell membrane divide. The cell has now produced 2 new daughter cells. The daughter cells contain exactly the same DNA. They're identical. Their DNA is also identical to the parent cell. We have an image of the cell cycle. Our first step is to grow and increase the amount of subcellular structures, such as mitochondria and ribosomes. The cell then duplicates the DNA, which is happening here. We have 2 forms of the chromosome, and here we can see the X-shaped chromosomes. The chromosomes then line up at the center of the cell, as we can see here, and the fibers pull them apart. We have 2 arms of each chromosome going to the opposite end of the cell. So here we have the 2 arms of this chromosome, and one's going to the right and one's going to the left. And then here the cytoplasm is dividing and the cell membrane is dividing, and we have 2 identical daughter cells. So these are both identical to each other, but they are also identical to the parent cell. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.